Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, I'm going to get back into doing my character backstories, but I'm going to do them a little bit different. I'm going to leave it this way so that people can see me, and I will try to read it to the best of my ability, but I will probably mess up a couple times. Sorry, I'm just not good at reading stuff, and my mouth just kind of goes wherever it wants to go. It's incredibly difficult for me, but it's incredibly important for me as well. I want people to know that I do right things and I really enjoy doing it and I want to share it with the world. So hopefully you guys won't be too hard on me trying to read this to the best of my ability. So here we go. Today is character backstory for Oliver Cade. For 19 generations, Oliver's family trained direwolves. From the age of the sword to the age of the six-shooter, people from all over the world came to witness the wonders of the Cade family and the mystery of their domestication of the fiercest animal known to this world. For over 950 years, they were asked to train direwolves for many purposes, most notably for wars or to guard kingdoms. Many rumors were spread around over the years about how they were able to train them. Some believed that they were in fact part wolf themselves, and others claimed that they had made a pact with Garul, the god of the wolves. None of these rumors were true, of course. It was actually their ancestor, Jonathan, who discovered that the wolves liked a rare flower in the mountain called the blue crystal, in which the wolves reacted to its scent in unusual ways. When he would crush the flowers down to an oil base and apply it to his body, the wolves would approach him and become affectionate, which eventually led to a complete trust. In the years that followed, Jonathan was eventually able to command them and was established as the Alpha. There were some over the many decades that came close to figuring out the secret. One person would ask about the strange flowers that they grew, while others would notice the strange smell they would only come into contact with while on their ranch, but no one would ever connect the dots. So, from generation to generation, they were able to keep the secret hidden from the rest of the world. And the secret also came with a considerable amount of profit. It did not take long for word to spread of Jonathan's accomplishment, and there were many who paid extremely well to train the wolves for their own purposes. This continued until one day the Cade family was not only one of the most well known families, but one of the richest as well. Oliver's parents, though they did not have to worry financially, never seemed to care about the money they had or the money they made. They instead concentrated all their focus on making sure that the wolves were cared for and treated properly by every owner of the wolves that they had trained. Every winter, they would leave Oliver's eldest brother in charge of the ranch while they traveled to every owner's home to check on the situation. And Oliver's three older brothers were more than happy to bear the responsibility. Oliver's brother woke up every morning with a smile on their faces. They loved training the wolves, and from the time they woke to the time they went to sleep, they were working with and taking care of the animals. Ollie was what they eventually started calling him because of his sister May. When May was 3 years old, she was too young to say his full name, so she called him Ollie, and the name just stuck. But Ollie and his sister May had no desire to carry out the family business. They loved the wolves, but their hearts were occupied elsewhere. They aspired to be a capital consular. Then eventually, May wanted to become a lawmaker. Believing that she could one day change the laws and rules over the world for the better, she planned to one day travel to the capital city of Juxton to start an apprenticeship. Ollie's dream was a bit more simple. He wished to become a law officer, to be the one to enforce the laws that his sister would one day create, and he had the skills to be one. Obsessed with the way of the warrior, he became a master of the sword, six-shooter, and rifle. He was also unmatched in the quick draw and never missed a shot. Their parents were also supportive of their dreams. They were concerned, but supportive. Oliver's wish to be a law officer worried his mother greatly, but his father often reassured her that discussing Ollie's skills and his cautious nature was what was going to be the outcome. One day, as Ollie and May were sitting at the edge of the ranch, one of their brothers ran up to them, yelling that the ranch was being attacked. Ollie ran quickly as he could to the house, but did not make it in time to prevent two of his brothers from being killed and most of the wolves being captured and taken away. Of the few attackers that remained, Ollie made short work of them. Asking the only one still alive why his ranch was attacked, he said that he was just an officer following orders from the capital of Jarlstein. Sending May and his remaining brother to Juxton to request aid, Oliver rode directly for the capital of Jarlstein. Upon his arrival, he was greeted by a horrific scene. Dire wolves and men were both hanging from poles and pikes, clearly representing the gruesome aftermath of a battle. Oliver approached the entrance of the capital's kingdom with rage in his heart and revenge on his mind. Applying the blue paint of the blue crystal to his face, he prepared to do whatever he had to in order to recover his parents. After finding a wounded officer and giving him water, he asked what had happened. The officer said that they were at war between the capital cities of Jarlstein and Galen. When he asked about his parents, of which the officer knew immediately who he was talking about, but the officer had not seen them for several weeks. Heading into the main part of the capital, Ollie was confronted by officers who were ordered to kill him on sight, which resulted in a rampage and Ollie killing anyone who tried to stop him. The Jarlstein officers even tried to dispatch the dire wolves to kill him, but they would immediately recognize him and turn against their owners. Meanwhile, Aiden had been in this existence for almost 4 years now. Feeling a need to help the people of this earth, he had spent some time here, helping the capital of Jarlstein during their wartime, but was completely unaware of their secret injustices on the people outside of the capital. When he saw Ollie coming with a small army of direwolves, he immediately leapt into action. At first, he got the upper hand, killing a few of the wolves and temporarily immobilizing Oliver, but Ollie called the direwolves in the area for aid, and they quickly overwhelmed Aiden. Ollie was able to then immobilize Aiden by pinning him to a wall with his sword. Ollie was able to make it to the Capitol building and confronted the Garish, the leader of the Capitol. Once the Garish saw that he could no longer control the wolves, he quickly divulged the location of Ollie's parents. Ollie freed them, but they were in bad shape, and breaking the news of their two sons' deaths made things worse. But they made it back to the road and began the journey home. On their way back to the ranch, Ollie's parents explained that they were beaten and imprisoned for denying the capital's request for more wolves. They refused to let the wolves fight each other, and the result was an order to burn their ranch and steal the remaining wolves. Then Aiden was able to find them on the road, and after a short scuffle, was explained the story of what was going on. So Aiden, feeling deep remorse over the misunderstanding, as well as the death of their wolves, began to help them repair their ranch and traveled to discuss the matter with the capital of Juxton, which resulted in Juxton sending word to Jarlstein. In the letter, it said that if the ranch was attacked again, then they would declare an assault on the people of Juxton and they would go to war. Naturally, Jarlstein agreed, knowing they would be destroyed by Juxton. When the repairs were finished, Aiden said goodbye to the family, but Ollie refused to forgive the traveler, despite Aiden's obvious remorse for the part he had played. Then Aiden said goodbye to the innocent people of Jarlstein, who were unfortunately caught in the middle of the seemingly endless conflict brought down upon them by the Garish, but only after meeting with the Garish and explaining to him that he would return with a vengeance if he stepped out of line again. 15 years later, Ollie and May are now where they aspire to be. Juxton and Galen have become allies and regularly push against the forces of Jarlstein, but for most occasions managed to provide a peace to the area, the peace being most directly provided by May and Ollie. May became a powerful and trusted counselor, and Ollie, with the help of the wolves, is able to provide a stable enforcement of the laws of the land as a Juxton officer. Aiden returns to ask May and Ollie for help with the use of the direwolves. Ollie agrees, but only to help the people, not Aiden. And that's the end of character backstory 4. If you guys enjoyed this content as much as I enjoy making it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. This means a lot to me. I do sketches and art as well as write this stuff, and it kind of goes hand in hand with itself, and I really enjoy doing this stuff type of stuff, and I really enjoy sharing it and getting it out to people. So if you really like this, please show me. I would really appreciate it. And if you don't like it or you feel like I could improve it in some kind of way, I would love that type of feedback as well, because I mean, I know that there's room for improvement. I just don't know how exactly to improve it. Like, I try extremely hard to try and record this stuff as well as I can, and this is like the fourth time I've re-recorded this because I can't speak properly. I do my best. I try with all of my power to read as well as I can. I promise you, like, this is the one that has been chosen. The one that you are watching now has been chosen because I've read it in the best way that I could. So, yeah, hope you guys like this one. I'll start working on character backstory 5, and I'll be making a video on that as soon as I finish that. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, later.